Hello again, guys. Today we're looking into whether or not Apple is going to be creating a cryptocurrency and whether it should or not. So remember to like and subscribe, and let's get into it. Now, this speculation is coming directly from comments made by Apple's Vice President Jennifer Bailey, who basically said that the company has an eye on the cryptocurrency industry. Not only this, but Bailey said that the company thinks that cryptocurrency is interesting and has long-term potential. So this is all part and parcel of a discussion on the future of Apple Pay and Apple Card. Now, Apple Pay is essentially the firm's answer to crypto already. It's a virtual currency stored in a digital wallet used for instantaneous transactions and peer-to-peer payments. That sounds pretty familiar. But then why would Apple need to create a cryptocurrency? Well, one of the drawbacks of Apple Pay is the fact that it still needs to be connected to a debit or credit card, which means that Apple still pay processing fees. And yes, they'll probably have a much better deal than you and I, but this would still mount up. On top of this, not all banks accept Apple Pay, meaning that a large chunk of users are kind of left out and unmonetized by Apple. Now, it would seem pretty easy for Apple to instill a cryptocurrency into their existing payments ecosystem. According to Loop Ventures, as of February, 383 million have activated Apple Pay on their iPhones. That's 43% of all Apple iPhone users. And on top of this, back in July, the CEO of Apple, Tim Cook, or Tim Apple as Trump would call him, shared information from Apple's Q3 earnings calls, which relayed that Apple Pay had completed nearly 1 billion in transactions. So what's the point of saying all this? Well, there's potentially 383 million people worldwide exposed to Apple's cryptocurrency if they choose to create one, and exposed to cryptocurrencies in general. And the very idea of Apple coming into the cryptocurrency space makes sense. They are notorious for taking convoluted technologies, which cryptocurrencies arguably are for the average Joe, and simplifying them for the mass market. Interestingly, as a side note, Apple's co-founder Steve Wozniak was also a very keen fan of cryptocurrencies. He's hardly spoken of Bitcoin in the past and Ethereum, even calling Ethereum the Apple of cryptocurrency. But benefits aside, we're seeing obviously Facebook move into the space, and Apple will likely let the regulatory chaos surrounding cryptocurrency subside before entering with any kind of token. And that's fairly understandable given that Facebook is coming up against such barriers. Its own project Libra, of course, basically halted until regulation can be sorted out. So more on that, currently Facebook has the attention of several Congress subcommittees arguing over which agency should regulate Libra, as well as the EU antitrust regulators breathing down its neck and accusing the firm of anti-competitive behavior. Which brings us to our final point of, if Apple does enter the market, it will be competing directly with Facebook. And Facebook having a head start, that might not seem that advisable. However, there are a plethora of reasons why Apple could be keeping an eye on the cryptocurrency industry, and it could be as simple as bringing out a crypto-focused iPhone or some similar device. I know they brought out the Crypto Kit recently, which is basically a dev tool. Either way, the fact that a company as big as Apple are eyeing the industry is undoubtedly bullish for mass adoption. And while some felt a little bit threatened by Libra's entry into the market, in hindsight, I think we can all say that it was mostly a net positive and stood to the benefit of Bitcoin and the wider industry. That's all from me. I'll pass it over to you. Let us know what you thought in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, give us a thumbs up. Remember to subscribe for more content, and I'll see you soon.